Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome in to another amazing day of racing action here on PeaceMaker Gaming as the Outcast Racing League gets ready to go to battle here in this one. These drivers are ready to rock and roll. They are ready to go to battle. We are once again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is the 2008 version. This is before the repave, before they put in all that extra resurfacing and making this racetrack to what it is now today that we see in real life racing, which is a super speedway. This is a true mile-and-a-half speedway. A lot of character, a lot of bumps, a lot of bruises throughout this speedway, a lot of different cracks and everything else. So we're going to see these drivers hop, skip, and sliding around out there on the racetrack. Going to make for some very interesting racing here this evening, and it's going to be a lot of fun. As James Garland says, let's go, baby. LFG up in the chat. Cameron Combs coming in with that heart reaction. Joshua Neal with the like on the stream. James Garland with that heart reaction. And CJ Jeffries coming in with that share on the broadcast. You guys know what to do already. You guys have already been doing it. Make sure you guys smash that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button if you're just tuning in for the first time here on PeaceMaker Gaming. As Lance Brantlinger says, please say a prayer, Aaron, that my computer lasts for me this week. New RAM and major cleaning. Let's go. Please, computer gods, make sure that Lance's computer can stay up and not crash, and hopefully he can get himself a half-decent day here this evening. Maybe a great day, and maybe we'll see the 8 ride up and in victory lane here this evening. As we'll get ready to rumble here, 110 laps of racing action here this evening for all these drivers, all these competitors to go to battle, to duke it out here this evening, and we will get ready to rock and roll as drivers lining up down on the front straightaway. They'll get ready to be set loose here in this one. Is a lot of great racing action about to come right at you. Starting on the pole in the number 51. We'll have to wait for him to load into the stream here, but starting on the pole is the 51 of David Duran Jr. He was outside in the Williamsburg Contracting number 00. That is the Shenco custom diecast ride of Cole Manage. Starting in position number 3. In the 3 machine, that is the RT3 ride. That is the beautiful machine of Al Reed. To his outside in the 11 ride, that is Gavin Addison down in row number 3. In that in 5th position is the Budweiser 8 ride of Lance Brantlinger himself. To his outside in the 99, that is Chris Muse, and then we see the 70 machine of Mike Killingbeck, who will start in position number 7 here this evening in the Williamsburg Contracting Racing Lawrence Tech Shenco Custom Diecast number 70 ride. He was outside. That is another one of the Williamsburg Contracting JRC race cars. Shenco custom diecast rides. That is the 19 of CJ Jeffries, who will start there in the 8th position and bringing up our 5th row on the speedway. The 12 ride. That is the poor boy machine of Josh Bromfield, who is outside in the Must Love Poodles number 9. That is Tyler Humphrey, last week's winner, starting there, rounding out our top 10. Starting in the 11th position, you see the 81 of Anthony Garland, who is outside the 28th. That is the Williamsburg Contracting Shenco Custom Diecast ride of Kevin Kazar. Starting in position number 13 in the 14 ride, that is Billy Jordan in the big red number 14. To his outside in the 49 is the Shenco Custom Diecast number 49 ride of Kurt Sponsler. Starting in position number 15 in the number 76 is the Overton's number 76 ride of Caleb McKinney. To his outside, that is the 02 of Chad Lancaster. Starting in position number 17 in the 77, that is Casey Gross. To his outside in the 84 is the Outcast Racing League's ride of Wayne Garland. Adolfo Castillo will start there in position number 19. To his outside is Joshua Neal. And then we see the number 60 ride, I do believe, of Mr. Johnny Thunders. To his outside is the 5 of Brandon Puffenbarger. And then we see the number I believe that is the 15. Cameron Combs starting all the way back in 23rd to his outside. That is the 6 of Robert Tuiscu in the RT3 Designs. PeaceMaker Gaming number 6 ride back there in the 24th position. Gary Wright going to round out our top 25 as Darrell Whitford and James Garland both missing the call to start this race as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. We are quickly green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Out in front, it's David Durant Jr. who will lead the way down through 1 and 2. He'll slide up the racetrack in front of the 00 Colton Manage. Manage gonna jump down low though. Look for a line and a run on the bottom side as they battle door to door down through quarter 3 and out at quarter number 4 for the race lead. In the first lap led here this evening, it is the 51 of David Durant Jr. who will pick up that first lap lead on the day. Gavin Addison back there in position number 2. He's rolling off towards the front of the field, trying to work now underneath the 00 Colton Manage. Here comes Al Reed, trying to storm back down to the inside of the 11 Ryan Chris Muse and the 8 Lance Brantlinger battling door to door for that 5th spot on the Speedway. CJ Jeffries on the outside of the top 5 looking in here. Same with Mike Killingbeck, Josh Bromfield, and Tyler Humphrey as they round out our top 10 here on the Speedway. The Overton 76 of Caleb McKinney making some early moves. Already 4 spots on the Speedway. Just on the outside of the top 10 looking in now. He's looking to try to work himself inside the top 10. It's a little contact between himself and the 9 ride. In the 9, the must-love Poodles machine, last week's winner. The 9 of Tyler Humphrey up into the outside wall. Luckily enough able to keep that car pointed in the right direction and keeps on rolling here in this one. Fortunately, though, poor Tyler Humphrey does lose a couple spots right there. Now slides back to the 12th spot here on the Speedways. Each and every one of these drivers can do the battle towards the front of the field as Shenco Custom Diecast coming in with that like and the share on the broadcast. Cole Manage coming in with that heart reaction as well. Anthony Karp coming in with the like and the share. How are you, Anthony? Anthony coming in, showing the love here in this one as well. Dropping that like and the share here on the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as David Durant Jr. out in front leading the way here at Atlanta, but Cole Manage not letting him run away with it. He's staying right there on his back bumper, and look out as the 99 of Chris Muse gets up into the outside fence. Hopefully no right side damage for that 99 ride as he's trying to hold on to that 5th position. Here comes another charge from the 8 machine of Lance Brantlinger. Brantlinger, last season's champion, the season 7 champ, trying to find a little luck, a little bit of a groove here throughout this season, and so far he's had nothing but bad luck. Had nothing but bad luck so far to start this season. He's really trying to turn the tables. New RAM, a good cleaning on his PC, hoping that can kind of clear up some of the issues that he's had here, and then just trying to find that speed, trying to find that luck in the groove here for the 8 ride. We'll have to wait and see what he can do and if he can find his way up and towards the front of the field and maybe see this 8 ride back up in victory lane. And CJ Jeffries there in 7th, Killingbeck there in 8th. Then we see Bromfield back in 9th, and the number 76 of Caleb McKinney hanging on to position number 10. But right there behind him is that number 9 ride of Tyler Humphrey. Humphrey was right there, got a piece of the 76 ride, while the 76 got a piece of the 9 ride. Got the 9 up into the outside fence at a quarter number 2, and that slid this 9 ride back a couple spots here and allowed the 76 to get that 10th position on the Speedway. But Humphrey not letting any of that damage or anything else affect that car, and he's worked himself back down to the 11th position and working on that back bumper of the 76, but down low cannot get the run that he was looking for, and here comes Kevin Kazar. Kazar down to the outside of the 9 ride, looking to slide up into that 12th position on the Speedway as David Durant Jr. continues to lead the way, starting to open up a little bit more of a gap between himself and Cole Manage. As Manage back here in that 2nd spot, trying to roll the outside groove here, trying to find a little bit more momentum as Gavin Addison back there trying to hunt them down. The 3 ride of Al Reed there in position number 4 and looking for more. Chris Muse there in 5th with Brantlinger, Jeffries, Mike Killingbeck, Bromfield, and McKinney rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. So far, some pretty good green flag racing out there on the Speedway. These drivers doing a fantastic job out there on the racetrack. And if you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button here on PeaceMaker Gaming. As man, oh man, oh man, the laps, you know, they're going to get clicked down in a quick hurry. Oh, look out a little further back there, as we got 100 laps of racing action left to go here in this one. Not sure who that was. That, I do believe, was the 49 rider Kurt Sponsler, who got slideways out of corner number 2 here. Let's play this one back. Let's throw it in reverse and take a look here. It's maybe a little contact between himself and Adolfo Castillo, as it looks like 49 gets a little tight, washes up the track, and then some contact there with that 31. Look at everybody scatter, trying to avoid any additional contact or damage or anything else. Luckily enough, they all work their way through that. No caution flag. We keep on rolling. Looks like minimal damage here to the 49 and to the number 31, right, as he got into him and got into that outside fence here in this one. But all these drivers doing a great job, able to keep their cars still pointed in the right direction. As we see these guys battling still once again on the racetrack. Here comes Adolfo trying to work himself away around this 49 ride once again, as we see a few more drivers trying to work themselves up through the field, but we see one big hit down the back straightaway. Not sure who that was. Was that Billy? No, that wasn't Billy Jordan. Not Robert Twisk. Was that Brandon Poffenbarger? Poffenbarger hard into the outside fence right here, man. This was a big hit for this 5 ride, as coming out of corner number 2. It's a very slick spot right here, and unfortunately just loses it. Slides up hard into that outside wall right there. Look at the damage. That right front tire pointed in the wrong direction here, so he's going to have a lot of work to do, as he's going to take that car down pit side. The crew is going to go to work trying to fix that car up, get him back out onto the speedway. Here you go. He is going to roll back out there. Hopefully that tire damage isn't too major, as he is going to go a lap down. So he will be the first driver a lap down here in this one. But we also are missing Daryl Whitford. Whitford also actually a lap or multiple laps down here in the 21 ride, as well, as he unfortunately missed the start of this race, is the Lug Nuts Racing 21 ride back here in the 27th position. We do see the caution flag fly, so this could be a big break. James Garland also a lap down. I do believe he was, actually no, he's still on the lead lap. Poffenbarger might be in position for a free pass right here. This may have been a big break for the 5 riders. We'll take a look back and see what happened here to Kevin Kazar, as Kazar running into some issues here in this 28 ride. Turned around on the back straightaway. Take a look here. Looks like maybe a little contact between him and the 9 of Humphrey. Looks like Humphrey just gets a good run, gets there to his back bumper. Unfortunately, that contact spins the 28 rider around. Tough break right there for Kevin Kazar. Doesn't look like too much damage, though, for the 28, so that's a good break right there for him. And so we'll take a look here at the 9 and see if he gets any extra damage. It looks like he may have found somebody else right here, as well, as he was trying to avoid any more contact or damage with this 28, as there's the initial contact. Slides back up the racetrack. Oh, it's Wayne Garland, who's also going to go around right there. Wayne goes around hard up into the outside fence as well. That gives pretty heavy front end damage here for this 9 riders. Take a look here. Just washes up the racetrack, tries to correct it. Unfortunately, tail takes that 84 ride and shoves the front nose right over and across the nose here of Cameron Combs. So Combs getting some good damage there as well. And that number 84, Wayne Garland, pretty heavy damage here a couple times up into the outside fence. This damage here to the back end is really going to do some good work to the rear chassis here of that 84. He's going to have to try to get this car repaired in a quick hurry and get ready to rock and roll, as we'll get ready to stack these drivers up, get ready to go back to green flag racing in just a few more moments. It's only lap number 16 on the board here, lap 25. The completion of lap 25 will be our first stage break on the evening. Lap 50 will be the end of stage number 2, and At the end of this one, we will see a 60-lap run to the end here, binding caution flags, but we will see Stage 1 and Stage 2 points being handed out there at lap 25 and lap 50, so right now could be a good opportunity for drivers that are maybe outside the top 10, outside of those, positions to kind of advance themselves and try to get those stage points, or just a bunch of strategy here. Do you kind of stay out, keep that extra set of tires back there behind pit wall? It's still early in this race. Maybe wait till the end of Stage 2. Excuse me, sorry, chat. And maybe at the end of Stage 2, we will see these guys maybe come down and get these fresh tires. But the tires here at Old Atlanta, they tore up in a quick hurry. It's going to be very interesting to see on what the tire fall-off's looking like and how desperately these drivers are going to need fresh tires out there on the racetrack. So it could be a big race where tire strategy could come into play. Our race here last night in the Xfinity Series with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, we saw tires play a big factor at the old-style racetrack here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It really tears up the tires here riding on the concrete. There's not a lot of adhesive out there, so it chews them up quite a bit, and it may cause a lot of drivers to run into issues, especially later in runs. When we start to see these drivers, really start to slip and slide around, we'll really start to see the pace fall off, and maybe some drivers who've been, either on fresh tires or they've taken tires earlier, or potentially, maybe just saving tires more. The difference of gaps between these competitors and how much they can catch up to one another is absolutely insane. As we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a couple more moments, they will get stacked up and ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a moment or two, as we'll get a quick word in from our sponsors over at N Sea NSB. Alrighty, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, shout out to our sponsors over at N Sea NSB for coming on board here again for season number 8 of the Outcast Racing League. As long as we see these guys keep on rocking and rolling, we may not see that commercial too many times here throughout the evening. So a huge shout out there for all of those N Sea NSB drivers out there on the Speedway. For coming on board here with us another time this season. As we do see the green flag back out onto the racetrack, and great jump and a great drive down through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway for our race leader, as David Duran Jr. out in front, continuing to lead the way as Al Reed trying to work himself up into position number 2. So the ZZX Digital RT3 Designs number 3 machine of Al Reed trying to work himself up and into position number 2 on the Speedway, battling door to door with that 00 as they're stacked up back here behind him. Still 2x2 outside of our top spot. They are battling tough out here. You do see that 3 right getting a big run here on the outside groove of corner number 3 and 4, and that will move him up into second. Move that 00 Colt Manage now back to position number 4 is Gavin Addison. Gonna slide up and in front of him as well. So Addison in the 11 ride jumps up into position number 3 on the Speedway. Contact, look out! Oh! No, oh, this got very, very close. We are still going to see a caution flag. Is a little deeper in the field. I do believe we are going to see another driver go around, and it's the 16. The Taco Cabanas ride. That is the 16 of Gary Wright, who's going to go around here out of quarter number 2. But I don't know how they didn't wreck here at the front of the field, man. Wow, that 00 ride almost lost it here. I don't know how he was able to keep that car pointed in the right direction. Let's take a look here. The 16 and the 9 just kind of get together here. Now, I'm not sure if the 9 just kind of comes up, runs them out of room here. Not a whole lot of space for this 16 ride to go up on the outside wall. He's rolling up on the high side. We'll see him up into the fence right here. Kind of bounces off the fence. Not a whole lot of room right there. He obviously need a little bit more room. The 9 ride right there beside him as they get up. And together here, some more contact, more damage for last week's winner of Tyler Humphrey. But let's take a look a little farther here. As this was kind of getting started, getting through, and back here a little bit farther back. Let's take a watch on this number 00 ride. Colton managed, man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I don't know how he managed to keep this car pointed in the right direction. Drives it in deep, down low. It's a good run here, but then watches up the track right there. Up into the 11 ride, then watch everybody else right here. Kind of just stack up. Oh, man, I don't know how these guys kept themselves pointed in the right direction, as this could have been a whole lot worse. 76 ride right there in the thick of it. We see everyone kind of bouncing in there. The 70 rider killing back in there as well. He ends up into the outside fence right there, but a good piece of driving as Cool, managed down low. We see Brantlinger get a good piece into the numbers there on the 00. They all somehow stay straight, but a little farther back, that's where we see the 16 ride unfortunately go around and bring that caution flag out as Gary Wright spins around here down the back straightaway, and I think he gets a little piece, gets stopped there before hitting that inside wall, so it doesn't look like too much damage there for Gary, but nonetheless, we will see that caution flag fly once again, and we will get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. And I do believe this will bring us to the close of stage number 1 on the evening. But we may see that green flag fly as the stage kind of ends here. I know the admin crew, Anthony, all the boys have been working together to get something going, as my boy Bubba coming in, setting it off over there on the Twitch live stream with the 100-bit donation coming in, setting it off here in this one with the 100 bitties. Are you kidding me, Bubba? Are you kidding me, brother? Coming in, showing the big love here in this one. I appreciate that, my boy, coming in with the 100-bit donation. Absolutely insane. I appreciate that, brother. As Aaron Beavers coming in with that heart reaction as well on the broadcast. Anna Marie Davis coming in, showing the love as well, smashing that heart reaction as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. We'll have to wait and see. This will be scored as our stage end here this evening, or if we will see these drivers have to battle it out for a lap or two. I do believe this should bring us to the end of the stage, so I do believe that this number 51 of David Duran Jr. going to pick up another stage win here in the season, man. The 51 ride, I feel, has picked up quite a few stage wins already here this year, and he's looking to get another one right here in that plain Jane number 51 ride here this evening. I know he had to get the banner onto the windshield of that car. I don't think he had time really to get the full paint scheme done. So plain Jane number 51 here, I believe, is going to pick up stage win number 1 on the evening. So stage number 1 gonna go to the 51 ride here in this one. He will pick up that win, and he will earn that extra points towards our regular season championship and the extra playoff point as well to have in the bank for when our playoffs get underway. He'll be able to have that extra point, which could be the make or break difference between, you know, going into our championship 4 or moving through the next round. We've seen drivers unfortunately miss the playoffs or miss, you know, one of these playoff elimination races and be eliminated by 1 point out there. So every point matters, and David Duran Jr. going to get another one to stack into the piggy bank here this evening, as Al Reed there in second will get some stage points. Same with Gavin Addison, CJ Jeffries, Mike Killingbeck, Lance Brantlinger, Caleb McKinney, Adolfo Castillo, AC Gross, and Chad Lancaster, all going to end up with some stage points here in this one. It's the 0-2 land in CNSB. The Quantum Motorsports ride now finds himself up inside the top 10 here with a pair of his Quantum teammates right around him. You see Casey Gross down to his inside, Adolfo Castillo right there in front of him. So the Quantum Motorsports team starting to work their way to the front of the field here in this one. As David Duran Jr. going to get ready for the restart, I do believe we are going to get at least a little bit of a break here, so they are going to extend this caution flag by 1 lap, and that will definitely give us the stage break right there. So that will end stage number 1 for certain here this evening. So huge shout out there to David Durant Jr. for picking up that stage win here this evening, as we'll get them ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to roll here. We'll have to wait and see if drivers like Tyler Humphrey, who's been collected in a couple incidences already here this evening, he's been kind of all around the action here. As the 9 ride will restart back in the 15th position. Cameron Combs, who was just collected in that last one, will start here in that 16th spot. Let's see if we can jump on board here and get a good look on the restart from a little deeper in the field, and how this number 15 ride is going to have to try to work himself through the field and try to get himself back up to the front of the pack here. We also got Cameron Combs. We got him on his webcam here as well, so we'll get a good look not only in car but also here in his webcam here as well. There you go, webcam up and on. You do get a good look here at Cameron Combs, locked in. He's focused. He's getting ready for this restart, knowing that he's going a ways back here, trying to work himself through the field towards the front of the pack. We'll have to wait and see if he can get that, as there goes that pace car down pit side. We'll head down into the Geico restart zone. Our race leaders are going to go up the speed here and quickly see these drivers up and through the gears, building up the speed, building up the momentum. Unfortunately, if you get through the gears a little quicker than the car in front of you, you got to kind of roll out of it. You got to back off just ever so slightly. And you see that happening right there with that number 84 ride right there. As quickly Cameron Combs finds a hole down low, gets right in behind this and number 9 ride, the Must Love Poodles machine, as he's going to split the middle here. He's going to try to go for the middle. A big roll and a big run right there for the 51 ride, as he's trying to pick his way through this traffic, trying to get himself to the front of the field here in this one, man. This is a very exciting look, very exciting run here for this 51 ride, as every one of these drivers coming in, giving us a good look at their webcams. We got quite a few drivers with the webcams on here this evening. We'll have to take a look and see. There you go, you get a good look here. All the drivers, all their webcams. You see Lancaster in there. You see the 6th ride, Robert Tuwiscu in there. You know, Poor Boy is in there as well. A lot of these drivers turning those webcams on, giving us a good look here inside their gaming rooms, inside the cockpits here, and what they're doing, how they're rolling out there on the Speedway. And it can give us some pretty cool, pretty good looks here at race winners. You know, if we see this go clean and green towards the end, and we see one of these drivers or a couple of these drivers, you know, that are potentially going to put themselves in the victory lane, we'll get their webcams up and on, so that way you guys can get a good look at their emotions, how they're feeling, and how they're, you know, working the wheel to try to put themselves into victory lane. As 30 laps into this race already, they are clicking these laps up in a quick hurry. And we see at the front of the field, it's still that number 51, David Durant Jr. continue to lead the way, as we do see some smoke here down the back straight away. No caution flag on the Speedway. I do believe Anthony Garland running into some issues here in the 81 ride. Let's take a look here and see what happens to the 81. Just out of corner number 2, loses it. Oh, hard contact there. Our contact for the Poor Boy Motorsports 81, the Outcast Racing League Shenco Custom Diecast Williamsburg Contracting 81 ride of Anthony Garland. Loses it out of corner number 2. Heavy contact, heavy damage here for this 81 ride. Trying to get it up to speed, trying to get this car rolling, trying to get it down pit side. And unfortunately for him, that is going to be a tough one to try to recover from. He is back out onto the racetrack here, but finds himself a lap down on the Speedway. I do believe he is the first car a lap down, but still has that damage. And you see everyone trying to work around him here. Hop, skipping, bumping, jumping through the infield, and somehow keeps that car pointing in the right direction as he tries to merge it back onto the racetrack here. He will slide back on, but that right front damage showing you just how difficult it is to get around this Speedway, man. And you see the gap here as here comes the 9 ride, as Tyler Humphreys ran into some issues as well, now back at the rear of the field here himself. But you see that number 81 ride with that damage, unfortunately just cannot get that car to really turn as well as he would like to. It's very tight, and obviously steering pretty busted up. You're in this one for that number 81. So a tough break there for Garland as he rolls back in the 25th position. And we also see the 11 ride of Gavin Addison down pit side. No damage, really. Maybe a little bit of damage here for Gavin Addison, but I don't see too much. We'll have to take a look and see if he ended up with some heavier damage or not here. I didn't see anything out of this 11 ride, so I'm not sure if this is an unscheduled pit stop. Doesn't look like too much damage on this ride, so I'm not sure where he may have gotten into the fence or if this was just a... Yeah, it just looks like he came down pit side. Unscheduled pit stop there for the 11 ride. The Monster Energy Machine heads down pit road here, and that will put him a lap down as well, and not in the free pass position, as that is currently Anthony Garland's spot. Now we see CJ Jeffries and Lance Brantlinger come down pit road as well. So these drivers really putting in the work here in this one, making some moves, finding some grooves here, and this is very, very interesting as we see these cats kind of coming down pit side shortly after that stage break. So bit of a different strategy here for a lot of these competitors, and definitely gonna see how this one kind of works out as the tire fall off really starting to come into play here. The more and more green flag laps that these drivers are putting down. Started this race off running 30.6 second laps or so. Now they're up to about 31 20s, 31 2s, stuff like that. So they are starting to slide back through just ever so slightly. The tire fall off starting to become more and more and more out there on the speedways. David Duran Jr. with a pretty sizable lead now between himself and Mike Killingback. Killingback down the racetrack here, going to move down and out of the way here. Let the 00 of Colton Manich roll around him. So Manich back up into second here. So Manich there in position number 2 as all these drivers, man, battling, beating and banging here in this one. And we see a little bit of issues for the real NASCAR race. Man, that's Ryan Blaney, and I'm not sure who else got in there, but couple hard hits right there at the end of their stage as well. But we see the 00 ride now take the race lead as David Duran Jr. heads down pit road here. So a tough break there for David Duran Jr. as he comes down pit side here as well. He will give up that race lead for the first time here this evening, and that means we got a new driver at the front of the field, and it's Colton Manich. Manich now out in front, leading the way. Kevin Kazar in second. Al Reed rolling back out onto the racetrack as we do see Kurt Sponsler headed down pit side. Dolfo Castillo, Casey Gross, all these drivers now making their green flag pit stops. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, but we do see Mike Killingback being held down here for a little bit. So possibly a speeding penalty for the 70 ride of Mike Killingback, and that is not what you want to do. You got to make sure you're clean and green out here in this one. You got to make sure you don't put yourself into a tough position like this. Now that you are a lap down, this is not where you want to be, man, as this is definitely going to take out the possibility for the 70 ride to potentially get a win here this evening. You do see him start to roll back out onto the racetrack, but he is quite a few laps down now, so this is going to be a tough one for that 70 ride to try to rebound. Is out in front, the 00 Colton Manich continuing to manage this race lead. So a great run so far for Colton Manich. Kevin Kazar there in second. Cameron Combs in third with Wayne Garland right down to his inside. Chris Muse back here in position number 5 on the Speedway. Muse rolling there in that pit spot on the racetrack. Josh Bromfield, Johnny Thunders, Robert Tuiscu are top 8. Tyler Humphrey out there in 9th in that 9 ride. Brandon Puffenbarger currently in that 10th spot with Joshua Neal. Gary Wright rounding out our top 12 is there. The top 12 have not come down pit road yet here in this one. So bit of a different strategy call here, running this and a little bit longer than the rest of these drivers here that have already come down pit side. To see Al Reed would be our race leader if everyone else comes down pit side. Al Reed was one of those first drivers to come down pit road during these green flag pit stops. Gavin Addison also one of those drivers to come down pit road early. We see him right here in the thick of things, trying to work himself through some of this traffic as Caleb McKinney works down to his inside. These are a pair of drivers that have already come down pit road. The 19 of CJ Jeffries, who was our race leader. The 51 of David Duran Jr. He's kind of stuck back here as well. So came down pit side a couple laps later than these guys. And unfortunately, he's going to allow them to leapfrog in front of them. But he's got the little bit fresher tires. But man, they are having a tough time trying to work themselves through some of this traffic. The 9 rider Tyler Humphrey, the 6 rider Robert Tuiscu, door to door here in that 8th and 9th spot on the Speedway, and it's really making it tough for these drivers to try to work themselves around them, even with those fresh tires and everything else, and that could potentially, you know, burn up their equipment, try to push their cars a little bit harder here during this green flank run, and could use up their equipment as they try to work themselves and navigate themselves through some of that slower traffic. As Manich still out in front, continuing to lead the way here. As the laps are clicking down, we get closer and closer to the end of this stage, so this could be possibly a huge move. If the 00 can kind of take it easy, can kind of roll out here on the Speedway, not make too many mistakes, not make any issues here in the last few laps, he could potentially hang on to this race lead, maybe coast down across the line and save the tires here and save the fuel for this 00. Could put him into the winner's circle here for stage number 2 on the evening. As James Garland says, well, there's my race. Gotta love crappy internet. No, James, the internet got you in this one. Brother, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. That's a heartbreaker right there for Mr. Garland. The internet going out for James and taking him out of this one. That is a tough break right there, brother. Hopefully that internet gets back up. Hopefully he can get back out here and roll some laps still with us here on the evening, as Kevin Timmy coming in as well, showing the love over on Facebook as well. Bubba, I do appreciate you, my boy, coming in with that 100-bit donation, the 100 stars, 100-bit donation over there on Twitch earlier as well, and coming in cheered on Chris Muse over there on Facebook, says, let's go 99. Chris Muse cheered on Muse, and Mama Bear Susie Dickinson coming in with the heart reaction, says, come on, number 84. Cheering on Mr. Wayne Garland out there on the racetrack, as Okenlon Balant, I can't say that name. It is too difficult. That's the coming in showing the love with the heart over there on the YouTube channel. I appreciate that, coming in showing the love over there on YouTube, as I'll have to try to break that one down step by step, and might take too long to try to get that one, as I'm sorry, I'm just joining. Who is in the lead right now? Colton Manich is at the front of the field here in this one. So Manich leading the way here this evening and looking to pick up stage win number 2 on the night. As the laps are going to click down, he's only got a couple more laps left to go here before the end of this stage. So this stage is going to end after the lap number 50, and that could potentially put him in here, as Bo says, was checking the smoker, so I've been in and out. Got some baby backs going. Ooh, brother, that sounds delicious, my boy. That sounds delicious. Oh, man, I'm going to have to make some myself. I'll have to get prepped and ready here today. Maybe make some for tomorrow night. Who knows? It's Colton Manich out in front. Going to click off another lap. Kevin Kazar there in second. Wayne Garland in the 84 ride in position number 3, looking to earn himself some stage points here on the evening, as Cameron Combs back there in position number 4. Josh Bromfield there in 5th, with Chris Muse back in position number 6. Johnny Thunders, Brandon Pumpkin Parker, Tyler Humphrey, Joshua Neal, our top 10 here on the Speedway, with a few of these drivers trying to run down our race leader here. I do believe everybody, even our earlier race leader, the 51 ride of David Duran Jr., still scored a lap down here. So if Colton Manich can finish off this stage and keep those drivers a lap down, where they're going to have to take the wave around back onto the lead lap, this could really play into the strategy here for the 00 and for all these other drivers that have yet to come down pit side. So that could be very, very interesting. Hopefully you've gotten a chance to break yours in. I tried a little bit not too long ago. It turned out pretty good. It wasn't anything to brag about, but it was all right. It was good. It was edible. As we do see this number 00 down across the line, we will see that caution flag come out as our 10th place driver crosses that start-finish line. Right now, James Neal looking to pick up that 10th position here. There's the caution flag, as Neal will pick up that final stage point here on the evening. But it's Colton Manich picking up the stage win, with Kevin Kazar there in second. Wayne Garland, Cameron Combs, Josh Bromfield, Chris Muse, Johnny Thunders, Brandon Puffenbarger, Tyler Humphrey, Joshua Neal rounding out our top 10 here in stage number 2 on the evening. Gary Wright back there in 11th. Robert Tuiscu back there in position number 12. And then we see, unfortunately for David Durant Jr., he is the first car one lap down here on the Speedway. So no matter what, the 51 will get back onto the lead lap here. So he will get that free pass, the wave around back onto the lead lap here for the 51 machine. But Caleb McKinney, Al Reed, Gavin Addison, all these other drivers are going to have to hope for the wave around to get back onto the lead lap. And you can see some of these drivers that stretch that fuel out, really trying to be cautious here on their fuel mileage. The 28 ride, Kevin Kazar, down on the apron, trying to keep this car a little bit flatter, trying to make sure that he keeps the fuel kind of balanced in this 28. He may not have enough. Same with Wayne Garland, as here you go. They're all going to come down pit side. So that will wave all of our lap down drivers back onto the lead lap here, as you'll see the 51 ride. He'll get the free pass back around the pace car, so he'll get back a lap here and be able to come down pit side, where Caleb McKinney, Gavin Addison, CJ Jeffries, Al Reed, Adolfo Castillo, Casey Gross, Kurt Sponsler, Chad Lancaster, Billy Jordan, Anthony Garland, killing back. A lot of these drivers are going to be looking for this wave around to get back in front of this pace car, earn themselves a lap back here. You see Lance Brantlinger there as well. A lot of these other drivers all looking for this wave around, looking to get some laps back here on the evening, as you see James Garland unfortunately off the Speedway. Darrell Whitford back in 27th. He is down pit side here, so a couple drivers off the Speedway. Now Brantlinger has had some tough luck here so far in this series this season, and was looking good early on, but looks like things have kind of went astray for him here. A couple laps down for him and Killingbeck. Possibly pass through penalties here, or potentially pit road speeding penalties during their green flag pit stops to really put them behind the 8-ball here in this one. But we do see a few drivers that were a lap down coming down pit side here. Gavin Addison, Johnny Thunders, Al Reed, Chad Lancaster, the 14 right of Billy Jordan, the 81 of Anthony Garland. They're all coming down pit side here again as well. So what that's going to do is that's actually going to take them out. Oh, David Durant Jr. down pit road here as well, but he's back on the lead lap. Okay, that one caught me off guard real quick, as these drivers that did come down pit side, unfortunately, they will not be able to pass around the pace car, so they will be stuck a lap down here. They're going to need another caution flag and possibly being in that free pass position to work themselves back onto the lead lap. As you take a look at our race leader, the 00 of Colton Manich. Manich is at the front of the field. He is our race leader. All these drivers that are in front of this 00 ride between himself and our pace car, they are all going to get the wave around. They are all going to get waved back around our pace car and either get back onto the lead lap or maybe go to 1 or 2 laps down. Nonetheless, they will gain a lap back here from this strategy. But now the bottom half of this strategy is going to be, they came down pit side. You know, probably 10 laps or so ago. They've had some good green flag laps and some wear and tear on their tires compared to the fresh tires that are going to be restarting here at the front of the field. Our top 11 drivers are going to have those fresh tires. So those drivers that are on the older tires now really got to hope for a couple quick caution flags, or at least a quick caution flag, to kind of get their chance to come down pit side and get some fresh tires themselves. But you never know. This could go clean and green right down to the very end of this one, as we will get them ready to rock and roll. You'll start to see these drivers roll around our pace car. There you go. They're going to start to steamroll around the pace car here, put themselves back onto the lead lap. Now what they got to do is they got to try to catch up to the rear of the field here and get ready to rock and roll for our final stage of the evening, and our final 55 laps, 65 laps, how many laps is that? 55 laps of racing action here this evening. So, you know, there's still a lot of time. This is the halfway marker. We're halfway in, halfway to go here in this race. As we go back to green flag racing, will be exactly our halfway point between the midpoint of this race, the start and the finish, right in the middle here. Lap 55 will come to a close, and that will start our our halfway lap here. So as we get ready to go back to green flag racing, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for this halfway marker, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. up for all these drivers. A beautiful crank it up session right there is out in front. The number 15 of Cameron Combs will take this race lead away. So Combs now at the front of the field as Colton managed back here in position number 2. Saw that battle there for quite a little while. These drivers battling door to door for that top spot as here comes the number 11 of Gavin Addison. Addison trying to use the fresh tires to his advantage. Maybe going to try to race his way back onto the lead lap here in this one as he's right there hunting down our race leaders back there in position number 3. That is the 9 ride of Tyler Humphrey. Humphrey rolling there in position number 3 on the Speedway. Then we see Chris Muse there in 4th. 12 of John Cromfield, the 51 of David Duran Jr. trying to work himself back to the front of the field. Brandon Puffenbarger there in 7th. Wayne Garland, Joshua Neal, and Gary Wright rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Addison looking to put himself back onto the lead lap, trying to race his way back onto the lead lap here in this one. Same with Al Reed, who's right there as well, trying to hunt down our race leaders here. Maybe going to see if he can put himself back onto the lead lap as well with a little bit of this tire strategy. Anthony Garland a little farther back there. He is in that 13th position. He is still stuck a lap down after his earlier incident, making that unscheduled pit stop and getting into the outside fence there for the 81 ride. Johnny Thunders back here in 14th with CJ Jeffries there in the 15th position. Billy Jordan back there in 16th with Caleb McKinney, Casey Gross, and the 31 of Adolfo Castillo and the 02 of Chad Lancaster rounding out our top 20 here on the Speedway. Kurt Sponsler back in 21st. Then we see Kevin Kazar back in 22nd. Mike Killing back there in 23rd with Lance Brantlinger back in 24th. Robert Tuiscu in 25th. James Garland off the Speedway in the 26th spot. And Daryl Winford, unfortunately, down pit sign, bringing up the rear of our field here this evening in that 27th position. As out in front, Colton Manich continuing to lead the way here. Manage out in front of the field, showing these drivers how to get it done as he was able to take that race lead back away from Cameron Combs. So move Combs back into position number 2. And here comes Tyler Humphrey. Humphrey right there, ready to strike, ready to work himself into the top spot as Bubba says Seahawks just pulled off a 101-yard TD from a Giants fumble on the 1 line. My God, would that be a 99-yard touchdown return or fumble return? I don't even know what you would call that. Fumble return, touchdown return, something like that. But nonetheless, that's a hell of a run, hell of a big play right there from the defense for the Seahawks here this week. As my boy SSJ Logic, my boy Dylan Carrier coming in as well, showing the love over there on YouTube, says, I miss this league, sucks. I work now Sundays and can't run with these guys anymore. Yeah, brother, we need to get you in here. Hopefully work will give you a different schedule in the future. Maybe you working weekends and allow you to run some good races with these guys again, maybe, and get in on some of the fun, some of the action, something like that, says Bubba. Something like that, yeah, it's something like that. Ollie Garland says, let's go 84. Wayne Garland cheering on Wayne out there on the Speedway. Wayne doing a great job right now. Currently scored in that 9th position as the Poor Boy Motorsports Outcast Racing League number 84 rolls here in that 9th spot on the Speedway. It's great racing, some good clean racing out here on the Speedway. Really mixing things up as right now Colton Manich out in front of the field, showing these drivers how to get it done. Cameron Combs there in 2nd. Tyler Humphrey in position number 3. Chris Muse back there in 4th with Bromfield. Brandon Puffenbarger, David Duran Jr. signing back now to that 7th spot. Joshua Neal back in 8th. And then we see the 02 right there getting up into the fence a little bit as Gary Wright back in 9th as Wayne Garland makes his way down pit road. So pit stops getting underway here. A little bit of different strategy for some of these drivers as the laps continue to click down. We get closer and closer to the finish of this race. What's it going to be? Who's going to make these moves? Is it going to be, interesting to see whether or not this strategy will work out, if we'll see another caution flag, or if we'll see this one go clean and green right to the end of this feature event. It's going to be anybody's race, anybody's game. You never know how these ones are gonna play out, and we'll give you all the action here in this one. As Albert Anderson, my boy Albert, coming in as well with the like on the stream. How are you, Albert? Coming in, showing the love here in this one as Bubba says, maybe it's a goal line, laugh out loud. They did say 101. 101. I don't know how that's possible. It's 100. I mean, unless if it was an interception. I mean, I guess it'd be 101 if they fumbled the ball into the end zone. It's only a 100-yard field, right? So you can only return it so far. But I suppose if they dropped the ball at the 1 and rolled in a yard into the touchdown area, and then they picked it up and ran it all the way back, then I suppose that would be 101 yards technically, but really, ideally, it's 99 yards of a from the point of forward momentum and back momentum, so something like that. As out in front, Tyler Humphrey able to put the must-love Poodles number 9 right at the front of the field here. So Humphrey now into the top spot as a couple of drivers coming down pit road. We do see Joshua Neal, Brandon Puffenbarger, Cameron Combs all down pit side. We did see a few more drivers like Colton Manich already down pit road, rolling back out onto the racetrack here. So more of these green flag pit stops underway here. And now this is the big question and the big area that these drivers got to be careful on. You cannot make mistakes down pit side. If you get that pit road speeding penalty, if you run into those issues, it can take your opportunity of getting a good finish or maybe potentially picking up a win here this evening and throw it right out the window. So you got to make sure you do not give yourself any of these penalties as here comes that 0-0 right. Gonna roll around the outside of the 15 of Cameron Combs. That's the difference between 1 to 2 laps, maybe a little bit quicker time down pit side for the 0-0 as Colton Manich will make his move back around Cameron Combs. He's gonna take Chris Muse right there with him as Combs slides all the way back here into the 10th position, but could potentially be that third car in line once this all cycles through. As here comes Tyler Humphrey, our race leader. David Duran Jr. also down pit side. A bunch of these other drivers making their way down pit road as well. So I have to wait and see how this plays out. Actually, CJ Jeffries could be in the catbird seat here, but unfortunately he came down pit side way earlier than everybody else. So this is going to be very interesting, whether or not his tires are going to hold up here, if this strategy will work for this number 19, as Caleb McKinney right there with them in the 76 run. CJ Jeffries in 1 and 2 on the Speedway. Colton Manich back here in position number 3. He's not too far away from these drivers. He's a second and a half back of the 19 of CJ Jeffries, about 3 seconds back of our race leader Caleb McKinney, but with those fresh tires, he's gaining about half a second to almost a second a lap here on those drivers in front of him. So he's going to catch up to them in a quick hurry. Even just on this lap alone, he gained over half a second between himself and our race leader, Caleb McKinney. So they are making ground in a quick hurry here, catching up to that front of the field with the fresh tires. Chris Muse right there with them in that 99 ride as Muse trying to hold off Cameron Combs. Combs trying to find a way back around the 99 of Chris Muse here in this one as they kind of roll nose to tail out there on the Speedway. Josh Bromfield back here in the 6th position. Let's see if we can get a good look here at Mr. Bromfield, as Bromfield's got his webcam turned on for us, so we'll be able to see the webcam here of that 12 ride, what he's doing here, how he's locked in and rolling out there on the Speedway, trying to work himself here to the front of the field. As Bubba says, maybe it was goal line left. It was fumbled in the end zone. You have to watch the vid, but let's do some racing left. Yes, sir. Let's do some racing. But hey, I'll definitely check it out. I watch all the highlights. I didn't watch any football today, so after all the racing action here this evening, because we'll have another race after this one, we'll be able to go back and watch all the highlights and watch everything that happened and watch all these games. I'm sure my fantasy football league, my fantasy football team has just been doing awful today, so I haven't had a whole lot of alerts for touchdowns or big plays out of any of my guys, so that's going to be a tough break right there. But yeah, here at the front of the field, strategy calls, different tire strategies here for a lot of these drivers. And it's put the 76 Overton's ride at the front of the field. So Caleb McKinney is leading the way, but Colton Manich already making quick work of CJ Jeffries already back into position number 5 here as Manich, Combs, and Muse all around the 19 ride. Caleb McKinney, the next driver on the docket, and here we go. The fresher tires compared to the little bit older tires, and there goes the 00. Just gonna muscle down low, use that momentum, and roll right around the Overton's number 76. So move Colton Manich back to the front of the field here in this one. So Manich out in front. Cameron Combs trying to track him down as here comes the Rockstar Energy number 15 here in position number 3. Trying to hunt down that 00 and the 76 right there in front of them. Chris Muse there in 4th. Brandon Puffenbarger now up into position number 5 is Bromfield. Rolling here in that 6th position, man. He's been giving us a good look, a good camera shot on what he's doing out there on the speedway. I actually don't even know. He's not frozen. I thought for a second there maybe he was frozen, but he's just locked in, rolling out there on the speedway. It's a great look there inside the gaming room, the office, the cockpit of this 12 ride for the Poor Boy Motorsports number 12 machine. The 13 ride back out onto the racetrack as well. Good to see Mr. Garland back out there. So James getting his internet back up and working, and here he is right back into the thick of things. Unfortunately, a lot of laps down here for the 13 as he's just kind of rolling down in on the apron here. I'm not sure if he's going to jump out onto the racetrack and roll some more laps or not, but he's going to take his car right back down pit side there, and possibly speeding down pit road there as well. Locked him up on pit lane as out in front. 00, Colton Manich leads the way. Cameron Combs in second. These two drivers were battling early in this race, door to door for the race lead there just after this stage ended and during our crank it up session. And now we do see Caleb McKinney making his way down pit side. Oh, baby, that may have been a little too quick as well for the 76. We'll have to wait and see if he gets a pit road speeding penalty. Kevin Kazar back down pit side as well in the 28 run. So the Williamsburg Contracting Shenco Custom Diecast ride makes his way down pit side. Same with that 76 ride of Caleb McKinney as the crews go to work trying to get some fresh tires onto these rides with not a lot of laps left in this race. 17 laps left to go. Now, the big question is going to be is how does this tire strategy work out? How does the fuel strategy work out? Can these drivers that are at the front of the field right now, can they make it to the end without having to come back down pit side? Or can they make it to the finish line here in this one? It's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to play out, but you do see possibly a pit road speeding penalty here for the 76 ride as the crew has done their work, and he's getting that hold sign here from iRacing, keeping him down pit road here for an extended period of time. So that's one of those mistakes we talked about you cannot have. You cannot put yourself into that position, and unfortunately for that 00, he finds himself, or for the number 76, finds himself down pit side and going multiple laps down here late in this race. It's Colton Manich, Cameron Combs 1 and 2 here on the speedway. Chris Muse rolling there in position number 3. Brandon Puffenbarger back here in that 4th spot, trying to hunt him down, trying to put himself up and onto the podium as Tyler Humphrey rounds out our top 5 here on the speedway. Josh Bromfield there in 6th with David Duran Jr., Joshua Neal, Wayne Garland, and Gary Wright rounding out our top 10 again here in this one. Kurt Sponsler there in 11th with Gavin Addison. The 11 ride still a lap down here, but he's in that free pass position. So if Addison sees that caution flag fly, he can get that wave around the free pass back onto the lead lap and potentially get right back into the thick of things here at the front of the field. But he needs that yellow flag to fly to give himself that opportunity. Al Reed right there as well, trying to chase down that 11 ride as he knows that that's the battle for the free pass position. He would love to be that car in the free pass spot here in this race, then just in case. As you do see the 19 of CJ Jeffries slide a little farther back here, back in 14th, a lap down as well as Anthony Garland. Mike Killing back, the 77 of Casey Gross, Adolfo Castillo, all a lap down out there on the racetrack. Johnny Thunder, Billy Jordan, and Lance Brantlinger as well, down multiple laps here on the racetrack. As Brantlinger and Chad Lancaster roll there in the 21st, 22nd position. The 28 ride of Kevin Kazar now back into 23rd. Caleb McKinney still down pit road, so he scored in the 24th position here on the speedway. So a tough break right there for the number 76. Having a good run, having a good race. Now finds himself back in 24th. Now going to start rolling back out onto the racetrack. So he's done his hold, done his penalty, but unfortunately the damage is already done as he has multiple laps down. He's going to go another lap down right there as the 00. Going to roll back out around him here as Manage. Combs 1 and 2 on the Speedway, but Cameron Combs starting to reel in our race leader. That gap between the top two starting to shrink more and more and more. In the battle here at the front of the field is just about to pick up as we go down through quarter number 3, nice and easy. Out of quarter number 4, we will see 10 more laps of racing action here in this one. So 10 more laps till we see the checkered flag here this evening. Who's gonna be the driver to find their way into the Outcast Racing League? Shenco, Custom Diecasts, Williamsburg Contracting, N Sea NSB, the RT3 Designs, Victory Lane here this evening. As out in front, that number 00, Colton Manage trying to keep these drivers back there at bay, trying to keep Cameron Combs from getting any more ground to his back bumper here as Chris Muse trying to hang on to position number 3. You do see Brandon Puffenbarger reeling him in here slowly but surely. The 5 right there in position number 4, catching up to the back bumper of our 3rd place driver. I know Muse would love to make another trip back up here. Oh, hang on to it, the 3 right in front of the 5 machine, almost goes around there at corner number 2. Luckily enough, Al Reed able to hang on to that run, keep himself pointed in the right direction. But as this race keeps on going on, more green flag laps continue to eat up the tires. Here in this one, these drivers are sliding farther and farther and farther behind here. And unfortunately, it's going to make their race that much harder, man. These tires are falling off like crazy. It's going to make for a very interesting race to see who is going to be able to try to navigate their way late in this race up a couple spots and into a better position here this evening as Colton Manage trying to hang on to this race lead. Cameron Combs there in second. Muse still hanging on to 3rd, but Brandon Puffenbarger right there in position number 4. You see the French tires on the 76, and he's just going to roll right around some of these drivers with the older tires here. So he's just going to make quick work of those guys and steamroll right on by them. Unfortunately, multiple laps down out there on the racetrack. So that is a tough break right there for that 76 as Cameron Combs all over the back bumper of our race leader here, mounting another challenge, looking down to the inside. This could be the pass for the win right here if Colton Manage doesn't hold off this 15, as here you go, only 6 more laps of racing action left to go, and there's the pass. He clears up. So Cameron Combs, 6 laps left to go. This race will make the move, and out in front he goes. The 00, though, not done yet. Taking a look down low, seeing if he can find that lane that the 15 ride just did. See if he can find a way back around. Cameron Combs here in this one. Combs looking to just try to run away with it, trying to open up a bit of a lead here and make sure that the 00 can't get back to his rear bumper. Here comes the 11 ride, Gavin Addison. Addison is a lap down out there on the Speedway, so a tough break for the 11 ride as he is being lapped down, and unfortunately finds himself just trying to battle a lap back here. Same with the 76 ride. Unfortunately for them, they are multiple laps down, but it's going to be interesting to see how this one's going to play out as Cameron Combs out in front now by 3 car lengths, 4 car lengths, and continuing to grow that race lead between himself and that 00 Colton Manage. Chris Muse hanging on to position number 3 on the Speedway, but here comes the 9 ride. Tyler Humphrey starting to make some moves here himself. Humphrey up into position number 4 as he worked himself around Brandon Puffenbarger and trying to chase down that 99 ride, and he's going to get a good run down the back straightaway here to reel in, but we see some contact in a late race caution flag. Caution flag on the Speedway. James Garland tied up here in this one. This is not what our race leaders wanted to see. As James Garland down low, the 12 right of Bromfield right there. They just make some contact out at quarter number 2. Looks like Bromfield got a little loose, came down into the 13 right, which kind of hooked him there into that right rear quarter panel, up the racetrack hard into that outside fence. Look at that right front tire on the 13 just wobbling around right there. Unfortunately, heavy damage again here for the 13. Not the day that James Garland was hoping to have here, running into internet issues early in this race, and then having some more issues even when he gets that internet back and rolling on the Speedway and runs into another issue like that. So a tough break right there for the number 13, and a tough break here for our race leaders, as this is the last thing these guys want to see. Cameron Combs, Colton Manich, Chris Muse. These guys did not want to see that caution flag. Now some pit strategy coming out here. Who's going to make their way down pit side? Who maybe has an extra set of tires back behind pit wall, or who maybe has a set of scruffs that they can put on that might be a little bit better of a tire than what they're using right now. So you do see Brandon Puffenbarger make his way down pit lane. Joshua Neal down pit side as well. Gary Wright on pit road here in the 16 ride as Gavin Addison will get that free pass. He'll get that wave around back onto the lead lap. So Gavin Addison, all the work he's done here at the front of the field, trying to battle there with the race leaders and keep himself in that free pass position. Going to pay off here as Al Reed, unfortunately, going to stay a lap down here in that 3 ride. Is out in front Cameron Combs, Cole Manich, Chris Muse, Tyler Humphrey, and David Durant Jr. are going to get ready here for this, what could be the final restart of the evening, as we'll end to a little bit of NASCAR overtime as Bubba cheering on Mr. Muse here in this one. Says, come on, Muse. Cheering Muse on here tonight as Muse sitting in a good spot here. Going to get restarted in position number 3. Will he have something left in the tank? Will he have the car to try to jump up there, maybe make it 3 wide, maybe try to make a move, or if there's contact between our race leaders of Cameron Coleman and Colton Manich, maybe that could put him into a position to kind of jump up here and move around these drivers and maybe put himself into the winner's circle tonight. Tyler Humphrey right there as well. He would love to pick up another win in that 9 ride as the Must Love Poodles machine picked up the win last week at Richmond. He was able to pull himself up into victory lane and pick up the dump. So we'll have to wait and see if the Must Love Poodles ride can pick up another one here this evening. David Durant Jr., he's going to get restarted in the 6th and 5th position here. So in the front of the field here again, we saw him pick up the first stage win of the evening. Very, very fast car all night long. Let's wait and see if he's got anything left in the tank. If he can make some moves and try to race his way up a little closer to that front of the field and maybe compete and battle in these final 2 laps for the race win. As we'll get ready to go back to battle, we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't go anywhere as you do not want to miss out on any of the racing action. As we'll get ready for some NASCAR overtime here in the Williamsburg Contracting Outcast Racing League here this evening. NASCAR overtime coming right at you here in just a few more moments as we'll get a quick word in from our sponsors over at N Sea NSB. As we get these drivers stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. As we get ready for NASCAR overtime here in the Outcast Racing League. Let us know in the comment section right now who you want to see in the winner's circle. Who do you want to see pick up the checkered flag here this evening? As out in front, Colton Manich and Cameron Combs going to get ready for what could be our final restart of the day. Right there behind them is Tyler Humphrey, the 99 of Chris Muse. They're in row number 2, ready for a big jump, ready for a big run right here as we will go nose to tail down through the Geico restart zone, and we are back to green flag racing. Now, if a caution flag comes out before we see that white flag, we will get them lined back up and we will try it all over again. But if we see that white flag fly, this race will be over no matter what the next lap. As they start to battle back there behind Cameron Combs. Combs trying to put himself up and into the winner's circle here this evening. Combs out in front. We'll take a look inside here with this number 15 ride. As down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. Cameron Combs will see that white flag fly. One more time around here for Cameron Combs, but here comes Tyler Humphrey. Humphrey there in second, trying to hunt him down as Colton managed. Slides back to position number 3 here on the Speedway. The 9 ride. Tyler Humphrey, though, all over the back bumper of our race leader. As for the final time here this evening, they roll down the back straightaway into quarter number 3. Humphrey down low. Combs up on the high side, door to door, nice and easy through 3 and out of quarter number 4. They're going to drag race back to the start-finish line, and it's Cameron Combs who's able to pick up the checkered flag and put himself up here into victory lane at Atlanta Motor Speedway. What a run and what a race right there as Cameron Combs will find his way into victory lane here this evening, man. What a run and what a race for these drivers and for these competitors, man. That was a close one. I thought maybe there was going to be some contact. Humphrey threw it in there deep down the bottom side of quarter number 3, and they go door to door for the race lead on the final lap. I wasn't sure if they were going to make it out of quarter number 4 or not, but they do, and it's a drag race back to the line, and the 15 gets to celebrate here. He gets to burn down the house here at the beautiful Atlanta Motor Speedway. So give a round of applause here. Give some congratulations to our race winner, Cameron Combs, as he picks up the win here this evening and pulls himself up into the Atlanta Motor Speedway. RT3 Designs a victory lane here this evening, man. As what a run and what a drive for this number 15 ride, as we'll get ready to pull him up into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for this number 15 ride as we'll get him up here into the booth. Alrighty, we're waiting for our race winner to jump in here. We'll see if we can get him in here real quickly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner, Cameron Combs, as we'll pull Combs up here into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview. Hey, Cameron, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Take a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Cameron, man, what a run, what a race, man. Take us through this one. What's going through your mind there as you were able to chase down that 0-0 Colton managed late in this race, make the move to get around him here with only about 6 laps left to go in this race. Then you start to pull away, open up a little bit of a lead, a little bit of an advantage for yourself coming down towards the white flag here. Then that caution flag comes out, and we got to go to NASCAR overtime here at Old Atlanta. You know, what was going through your mind there at that moment in time, knowing that all these drivers, all these fast cats were going to be right back to your rear bumper?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't thinking I had much for him. We had a pretty good battle there at the beginning part of the last stage, but yeah, caught him. I was surprised I got around him. It really didn't take much, which we pitted around the same time, so our tires, he might have burned his stuff up a little bit quicker than me, but yeah, we definitely had some good racing there.
Absolutely, some great racing, some great battles out there on the racetrack, and then take us through that final lap as you see the 9 rider Tyler Humphrey coming in a quick hurry, gets to your back bumper down out of corner number 1 and 2. He's all over you there, down the back straightaway. He shoots it in down low into corner number 3. Then you guys go door to door through the final couple corners and down that front straightaway where you're getting a little bit nervous seeing that 9 right there, where you're getting a little bit scared that maybe he would send it in there a little too deep, or maybe make some contact with you and potentially, you know, create an issue there between the two of you.
Yeah, I was definitely worried about that for a little bit, but I was watching him most of the race, and he seemed to be pretty clean, so I wasn't terribly worried about it. I don't have much racing experience around him, but I know he raced here before, but I don't think he's been here often in the time that I've been here, but he definitely kept it clean. We had a little door bang, but I wasn't too worried about it being that I was on the outside. I knew I could get a little bit of a run coming out of the corner to hopefully beat him to the uh, start-finish line.
Absolutely. Well, you were able to get that momentum. You were able to get that speed, and you pull yourself right up here into the RT3 Designs victory lane here this evening. Cameron, who would you like to thank for such a great run and great performance here today?
I just got to thank ESR, Al, Rob, and Kurt. Uh, they helped me a little bit, and then just got to thank the admins. Thank you for doing an excellent job broadcasting. I have a plane the whole time I'm racing, just keeping me up on incidents and stuff, what's going on. But yeah, I just got to thank everybody that helps put this together. Colton and Williamsburg Contracting, got to thank them guys too with Shenco and everything. But just thank everybody that keeps this league alive and uh, has the type of racing that we got here.
Absolutely, brother. A lot of great racing, a lot of great fun. Each and every one of these races on a Sunday afternoon, continuing to give us a good show out there. And you guys put on a great show for us here in this one. Cameron, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the great race. And we can't wait to see you back out there on the Speedway next Sunday. And maybe right back up here on Victory Lane.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening and don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane.
I'll try not to.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Cameron Combs as he picks up the win here this evening. What a run and what a drive there for that number 15 machine. Chris Muse coming in on Facebook showing the love, says congratulations, Cameron. My boy Eric coming in, dropping that like on the stream as well. How are you, Eric? Eric coming in, showing the big love here in this one as well. As, man, what a run, what a race, man. All these drivers put on a hell of a show for us here this evening as we'll get ready to pull our second place finisher, Tyler Humphrey, up and into the booth here for his post-race interview. Hey Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I do, Aaron.
Tyler, man, another good run, another good race here for you in this one as you're able to find your way late in this race up inside the top 5, and then you start making some moves here late in this one, chasing down, Brandon Puffenbarger, getting around him, then getting around, the 99 ride of Chris Muse, and you're right there within striking distance of that 99 ride before the caution flag came out, and then all of a sudden you can't line back up. Race leaders are right there in front of you. What was going through your mind knowing that you had a pretty good strategy, a pretty good run late in this race, and you were able to kind of just put the hammer down, really pick up a lot of spots there on that last restart and put yourself up here into position number 2, which was almost victory lane as you were right there door to door with Cameron there across the line.
Oh, man, I'll be honest, under that caution, I wasn't paying attention to who I was lining up behind, and when I noticed it was the race leader, I was like, I can get a good launch. At least I can give it a good shot, and I did, and got that launch. I was like, okay, let's get down into 1 and make it through this corner. Once again, I was able to, but those exits, I mean, I wrecked. I didn't wreck, but I spun multiple times or just about lost it right hooking into the wall out of 2, and I was like, I can't do that to these guys. You gotta race smart, but you also gotta be able to finish these things too and be aggressive. So, oh man, I can't believe that. I can't believe I'm up here for a second time in a row. So it's insanity.
Absolutely, man. A couple good races strung together here for you, and another trip up into the broadcast booth. Tyler, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Oh, Must Love Poodles for sure. They do so much for me. That's actually who I have my dog through. My mom raises great dogs. I appreciate everything she does. She has an awesome logo that I can throw on that car every week. Pops like crazy. I don't know. The guys in the Outcast Racing League for being able to put on these great shows. Guys like the Garland family and Bromfield. You for broadcasting every week. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely, brother. Well, it's always our pleasure to be up here in the booth and watch you guys do get out and battle out there on the Speedway. Tyler, congrats on the second place run. And hopefully, more and more trips, more and more good runs like here today and last week, and maybe more trips up here into the broadcast booth for you in the future.
Yeah, for sure. I will see you at Las Vegas. I'm off next week, so I will see you all out in Nevada. So.
Perfect. Well, we look forward to seeing you there, Tyler, and we look forward to seeing you right back up here in the broadcast booth. Congrats again on the second place run, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks.
Thank you. You as well.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the number 9 ride of Tyler Humphreys. Humphrey comes home here in position number 2. A great run and a great drive there for the number 9 machine here this evening. As we'll get ready to pull in our third and final post-race interview, the number 5 ride of Brandon Puffenbarger. Hey, Brandon, it's Aaron up here on the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Brandon, man, a good run, a good race late in this one as you were able to find a couple extra spots there and move yourself up and onto the podium, man, and take us back through it, take us back through this race and the different strategies that you were able to kind of play out to put yourself into this position in that final restart to kind of roll up here and put yourself inside the top 3.
Yeah, so that first run, I got kind of loose on the bottom and snapped and hit the wall. So I got a meatball, and so I had to pit right away. And the caution came out right as soon as I was exiting pit road. So I got the lucky dog. So I was just playing the fuel strategy there to keep without using tires and just riding in the back until I could use tires at the end of the second stage and that green flag pit stop, just so I could have a set if I needed it at the end of the race, which worked out.
Absolutely, definitely worked out in your favor here as you're able to get that 5 right up onto the podium, man. A great run and a great drive here for yourself, Brandon. Who would you like to thank for such a good performance here this evening?
Just you guys for putting on the broadcast, Anthony, Wayne, and all the guys for putting on the league. It's a fun league. These guys are fun to race with.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Brandon, a great run, a great drive. Hopefully some momentum being built up here for you and more trips for the 5 ride up here into the broadcast booth here after these amazing Outcast Racing League finishes.
Yep.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, the number 5 ride of Brandon Puffenbarger, as Brandon comes home in position number 3. Man, a great run and a great drive there for the 5 ride here this evening as he pulls himself up here onto the podium. Unfortunately, though, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to do it for us here on the evening as we're going to be getting ready here in about an hour from now to go back live when we got a little bit of dirt track racing to do later on here this evening. So can't wait to see you guys in there for that one. Make sure, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as these guys put on one heck of a show, one heck of a race for us here this evening. But we're going to call it there on that note. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here in this one. And I'll see you guys back here in the live stream in about an hour from now for a little bit of slinging dirt, super late model action here later on this evening. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'll see y'all later. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.